Okay, it's Eric again, and I'm gonna continue with the final reading for today on the 12th. We went a little more in detail today, read a lot, and it's about 5 a.m., 5:13 a.m., and got my glasses on. I can see a little better. So hopefully, well, for sure, the readings will get a lot clearer, and so I'm gonna continue with Acts 21:27 through 39. Paul seized by the mob, and for anyone who wants a little more insight, it says 39, but it's off of an army book, so it's meant for you to continue reading. Um, it just leaves you in suspense. Sorry to leave you in so much suspense, but I'll get it going now. So 21:27. This is 27 right here, and sorry to take you out of 2017. Join us in 1941. So the 7 days were almost up when some unbelieving Jews from the province of Asia saw him in the temple, stirred up all the crowds, and grabbed him. Men of Israel, help! They shouted. This is the man who goes everywhere teaching everyone things against the people, against the Torah, and against this place. And now he has even brought some Goyim into the temple and defiled this holy place. They had previously seen Trophimus from Ephesus in the city with him, and assumed that the Shaul had brought him into the temple. The whole city was aroused, and the people came running from all over. They seized Shaul and dragged him out of the temple, and at once the gates were shut. But while they were attempting to kill him, word reached to the commander of the Roman battalions that all Jerusalem was in turmoil. Immediately he took officers and soldiers and charged down upon them. As soon as they saw the commander, they quit beating Shaul. Then the commander came up, arrested him, and ordered him to be tied up with 2 chains. He asked who he was and what he had done. Everyone in the crowd shouted something different, so since he couldn't find out what had happened because of the uproar, he ordered him brought to the barracks. When Shaul got to the steps, he actually had to be carried by the soldiers because the mob was so wild. The crowd kept following and screaming, "Kill him!" As Shaul was about to be brought into the barracks, he said to the commander, It's it is it all right if I say something to you?" The commander said, "You know Greek? Say, aren't you the Egyptian who tried to start a revolution a while back and led 4,000 armed terrorists out into the desert?" Shaul said, "I am a Jew from Tarsus in Cilicia, a citizen of an important city, and I ask your permission to let me speak to the people." So number 40 is, having received permission, Shaul stood up on the steps and motioned with his hand to the people. When they finally became still, he addressed them in Hebrew. Wow. So some of the words here are in Hebrew, and they left it out in this book, the World War II book. So It's in Paul described conversion. So Acts 21:40. So they did do that July 13th or January the 12th. Pretty interesting stuff here. So we did read part of July 13th, so we're a little ahead of schedule. And Acts 22 1 through 11. Brothers and fathers, listen to me as I make my defense before you now. When they heard him speaking to them in Hebrew, they settled down more. So he continued, I am a Jew, born in Tarsus of Cilicia, but brought up in this city and trained at the feet of Gamaliel. In every detail of the Torah of our forefathers, I was a zealot for God, as all of you are today. I have persecuted to death the followers of this way, arresting both men and women and throwing them into prison. The Kohen Hagadol and the whole Sanhedrin can also testify to this. Indeed, after receiving letters from them to their colleagues in Damascus, I was on my way there in order to arrest the ones in that city too and bring them back to Jerusalem for punishment. As I was traveling and approached Damascus around noon, suddenly a brilliant light from heaven flashed all around me. I fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to me, Shaul, Shaul, why do you keep persecuting me? I answered, Sir, who are you? I am Yeshua from Nazareth. He said to me, and you are persecuting me. Number 9. Those who were with me did see the light, but they didn't hear the voice of the one who was speaking to me. I said, What should I do, Lord? And the Lord said to me, Get up and go into Damascus, and there you will be told about everything that has been laid out for you to do. I had been blinded by the brightness of the light. So many companions led me by the hand into Damascus. So let's see what's in here. So, chosen to be a witness, a man named Hananiah, an observer followed the Torah who was highly regarded by the entire Jewish community there, came to me, stood by me, and said, Brother, shall I see again? And at that very moment I recovered my sight and saw him. He said, The God of our fathers determined in advance that you should know his will, seek the Tzaddik, and hear his voice, because you will be a witness for him to everyone of what you have seen and heard. So now, what are you waiting for? Get up, immerse yourself and have your sins washed away as you call on his name. After I had returned to Jerusalem, it had happened that as I was praying in the temple, I went into a trance, and I saw Yeshua. Hurry, he said to me, get out of Jerusalem immediately, because they will not accept that you have to say about me. I said, Lord, they know themselves that in every synagogue I used to imprison and flog those who trusted in you.